And we do start with breaking news tonight. Mesa police are searching for the suspect in a deadly hit and run. This happened just after 6 o'clock tonight near University and Stapley Drive. Police tell us an adult in that road was hit by a vehicle. They died at the scene. Police are currently trying to identify the vehicle that hit the victim along with that driver. Stapley is closed from University to Brown. So if you know anything about this crash or have surveillance video, you are asked to call Mesa Police. And developing tonight, a 32-year-old woman is hospitalized with critical injuries after a police shooting in Phoenix. This happened near 16th Street in Osborne this afternoon. Phoenix police tell us a woman was walking around an apartment complex with a large knife, banging on doors. They say that they gave commands to her, but she didn't listen, and she walked towards them with that knife. Officers say they discharged a less lethal weapon. She stood back up and then continued to walk towards those officers with that knife. That's when they say that officers fired. There will be some closures in that area until early tomorrow morning. Well, thanks for staying up late with us tonight. I'm Justin Pizzera. Great to be with you. So the Chandler community is mourning tonight after the loss of a father and son who were among the 5 killed in a plane crash on Tuesday. 12 News journalist Brenda Lipinski was at that vigil tonight.
Just a few hours ago, this field was filled with hundreds of people showing their support for the family.
There's just so much that they do that we love and that brings us here.
Tonight, the Chandler community honoring 2 of their own. 12-year-old Graham Kimball, who friends say loved sports.
Graham was everybody's friend. He was happy and outgoing, and he loved the Dodgers.
And his father, Drew, giving all he had to his family.
He was just a man of experiences for his family. And so his family has so many memories of just living life to the fullest.
The father and son, 2 of 5 people killed in a plane crash at Falcon Field in Mesa. According to the National Transportation Safety Board, a Honda HA410 crashed through a fence and into a car after aborting takeoff, adding an extra layer of heartbreak for the Kimball family.
A familiar feeling, unfortunately, for the Kimballs since they lost another son within this year.
Other victims in the crash, including Spencer Lindell and Rustin Brandel, and 67-year-old Ray Longhe of Mesa, who was driving the car hit by the plane. His family releasing a statement saying in part, he never took his life for granted. He seized every opportunity he had, and he chose joy every day. Friends and family never forgetting the lives of those gone too soon. One person did survive the crash. Their identity has not been released, but the Mesa Police Department tell us he was 18 years old and related to the pilot. Reporting in Chandler, Brenda Lipinski, 12 News.
So a pretty weird story unfolded on the I-10 overnight near 35th Avenue when police started getting reports of a vehicle with flashing red and blue lights, except the vehicle wasn't a squad car. It ended with a standoff miles away in Tempe.
You're not going to be able to get away from here. So what you need to do is just go out front and give yourself up. You're going to end up getting bit by a dog. You're going to jail. Might as well go with all of your body parts intact. There's no point in getting bit and getting hurt.
The Tempe Police Department, we are not leaving. Up to the front of the house with nothing in your hand.
Okay, so you can see that red Jeep right there with that red and blue lights right there in the windshield. That is not a cop car. You can see DPS used what's called a grappler to stop that fake squad. There's straps around the back of that wheel and that line connecting to the actual squad car. DPS says a police helicopter that tracked the vehicle all the way to Tempe near Priest and University Drive. That's where they stopped that vehicle, but the 2 suspects made a run for it. One suspect jumped a wall and then ended up in Geronimo Salgado's backyard. His family woke up to law enforcement knocking on their door.
Cops knocked on our door, they showed up, and we had no idea what was going on. Besides my brother answering the door, and he told me that somebody jumped over the wall. And he just stood in the backyard, but honestly, if he did break in, it would have probably got really, really messy, a lot worse than it was now, than besides him jumping in the backyard.
So police were able to take the 2 suspects into custody. This is video of one of those suspects being put into the back of a squad car. So we don't know why they had those flashing police lights in their car or what they were trying to do before people started calling them in. Now to a look at the latest vote totals coming in tonight. This is a live look at the Maricopa County Ballot Tabulation Center. Those folks, they have been handling all of these ballots since Election Day. It's pretty quiet in there now, but throughout the day, though, it's been busy. So we had a new ballot drop just a few hours ago, and the lead for Ruben Gallego in the race for U.S. Senate in Arizona has widened. That race is still too close to call, but Gallego's lead now sits at 45,054 with 87% of the votes counted. In Arizona's 2nd Congressional District, the Associated Press has now called the race for Republican Eli Crane. Crane was defending his House seat. His challenger was Democrat Jonathan Nez, who was the president of the Navajo Nation from 2019 to 2023. The Associated Press has officially called Arizona and its 11 electoral votes for President-elect Donald Trump. Currently, Trump is leading Vice President Kamala Harris by roughly 185,000 votes. We were the last state to be called for the election. Winning Arizona puts Trump at 312 electoral votes. Let's take a look at your weekend weather forecast with meteorologist Lauren Rainson. Hey there, Lauren.
It was a cool start to the weekend, and now we're up against more chilly overnight lows. So when you're out the door early Sunday morning, we'll look a bit like this here. Teens, 20s in the higher deserts, 40s and 50s throughout the lower deserts, 40s and 50s once more throughout the valley tomorrow morning. That'll bring us to 60 degrees by 9 a.m. Sunday, nearly 7 degrees through the lunch hour, 80 degrees 3 o'clock. So slightly warmer temperatures on track to close the weekend. In Flagstaff on Sunday, 40s 9 a.m., mid-50s lunchtime, upper 50s through the early afternoon with increasing clouds. So we're discussing near normal high temperatures on Sunday and then periods of lower temps and breeziness. I'll be tracking that next weather system making a push our way. We're going to go over the timing and all the impacts coming up in my forecast.
So the Hubble Space Telescope has captured a new image of a spiral galaxy. It's in the constellation Dorado with a lot of shining stars, which helps it give a beautiful and colorful glow. Bubbles of hydrogen gas shine red along with 2 large arms near the galaxy's center. They are some of the newly formed and extremely hot stars embedded within a ring of hot gas. At the galaxy's very center sits a bright source of X-rays called an active galactic nucleus. The galaxy is about 49 million light years from Earth.